Previously on Let's Talk About It.
There's grace to be a mom.
If I had known what I know now about motherhood, we're not going to cry. I never would have gotten an abortion the first time.
The truth of the matter is like there's so many women that suffer in silence in regards to it because we're so ashamed.
I fear that I wouldn't be good enough. That was tied to my childhood of insecurity and rejection.
The Black community, especially our mothers, we're not having those conversations about what's happening with our body.
Yeah.
I think that goes into mom shaming.
For so long, I felt the same way you felt, like I can't have kids.
My husband is the breadwinner, and I am the stay-at-home mom.
So let me tell you this.
Okay.
Brittany had her baby 4 months before me.
Okay.
So almost what Brittany said was, when it's close to me, it's close to me, you know?
Yeah.
And so I said, God, you let Brittany push. Her baby came out. This is my portion.
Yes.
And prior to Brittany having Kaden, I was gifted a book called Supernatural Childbirth.
Yeah.
And I was affirming, making declarations like, you know, my baby will come quickly, she will be healthy. And a portion of that book deals with faith. Now, during my pregnancy, I had a very, very unfortunate relationship with my father. And it was very stressful. So there would be days where my father would text me and I would just be crying because I was a daddy's girl. And my parents were going through a divorce during my pregnancy. And so what the right time, because here it is, my Superman is doing some stuff I don't agree with. I'm a wife, you know, and so it was stress, stress. And my husband did not get it.
Wow.
And I would say, you need to defend me. And he did not want to touch the situation because it's my dad. And I was just like, you need to tell him to stop texting me. And he was like, you need to stop texting him. Like, he's my dad. Like, and I'm in this emotional war where I want to fix something with my with my father, but I don't. It's like, you know, when you're pregnant, your emotions are everywhere. So in one moment, I want to love on my dad, and the next moment, I don't want to deal with my dad.
Wow, yeah.
And so it was tough. So, anywho, so here I am making these declarations, and I heard God say, you're about to see me as your father. And I didn't even know what that meant at the time. I'm going to be real with you because it was kind of like, what you saying, God? I know you the Father. Our Father, which art in heaven. We know this. We know you're the Father. And so
That's funny.
So it was like, okay, whatever. So so this is what happens. So I go into my birth, I'm making these declarations, and I go into labor.
My goodness.
And I'm, you know, laboring at home for a few hours, and then my contractions stop. After like 10 hours, maybe 8 hours of laboring, my contractions stop. So we're like...
So, okay, wait. Pause. Okay, so did your water break?
You forgot to talk about that you were late also. Because remember, your due date, me and Mount came over the day
so
after
let's
your
go
due
back.
date.
Okay, so I was 40 weeks at this point.
Okay.
40 weeks. So I was late.
Okay.
And so my water broke. And I don't know if it was because of something I did or if, I don't know, because my water broke slightly. It wasn't a lot. It was like a little small break.
Okay.
And once we got to the hospital, they had to actually
break it more?
A little more, yeah.
Okay.
So my contractions stopped though. And so we called the hospital. And I had did everything that I could possibly do. Like I had a Black doctor. I went to a space that had great reviews. Like, you know,
I remember
I'm Black, so
you were really diligent about that.
I was
remember that.
trying so hard. So we get there, and y'all, when I say, so I'm gonna tell you this, Brittany. I'm just putting this out there. I'm one of those people who I believe in the supernatural. So I believe in demons. I'm gonna keep it real. So I watch a bunch of shows stuff about demons. So, but I was praying. Like, I'm like, God, this is going to go good. Brittany just had Kaden. Like, I'm not having no problems, you know?
Facts.
And so we get there, and my contraction stops. So they immediately say, okay, we're going to put you on Pitocin so that your contractions can start back.
Right.
All right. So the contractions start back, and my nurse, a Black woman, was at the end of her shift. We could tell she was off. My husband immediately said, I don't like her spirit. But I was like, give her a chance, you know.
Yeah.
And so I expressed to her, you know, although I'm on the Pitocin, I want to have a natural birth. I don't want to do epidural. So if anything, if it gets to a space, I want to try the alternative to epidural, which they'll give you like a shot of a painkiller before you get on epidural. Yeah. And so she was like, I said, do you have children? She says, yeah, but I wasn't trying to be superwoman. I took all the medicine I could get. And so I was like, oh baby, you're right. Something's off with her. Jesus. But here I am in my mind, like, she a black woman. You know the statistics related to black women. I'm trying to do everything I can to protect myself. So what I didn't know, and this will be in my book later to be released.
Come on, shameless plug.
What I didn't know was, at the time, Pitocin can be given to you in increments. And so the higher level of your Pitocin, the harder your contractions are. Oh my God. And so for some women, they increase it so it sends you into labor because it's actually the contractions that push the baby out. So the higher the contractions, the more the baby, you know, and my baby started out in position, but when we got there, she had moved. Oh my goodness. So they were trying to get her back where she needed to be. Jesus. And so you're supposed to start off at the lowest level of Pitocin. Within 30 minutes of me being on Pitocin, I told Tay, I said, Tay, these pains are extreme, and I just took this pain medicine.
Just that fast?
Yes, and it was like 45 minutes. Wow. And so the number was 6. That's all we remember. And so I said, come look at this. I said, tell me what you see. You know, he could tell me the best of his ability. It was on 6. So we couldn't ask her because in that moment I knew something is off with this lady. But I couldn't do anything. And my thought process was my baby is what's important. So then basically what she did, she had increased my Pitocin levels to 3 levels within the matter of an hour. When within an hour, I should have been at the first level. Wow. And so, but we didn't know this in confirmation until the next shift started. So this is the next morning. So what happens is I'm in so much pain. I'm like, dang, like I just took this pain medicine. The pain shouldn't be worse, you know? Right. And so I said, you know what, sis? You're right. I need to take the medicine I can get. So they give me the epidural. And so, mind you, the medicine that they administer to you by needle is fentanyl, what killed Michael Jackson. Oh my God. So they give you fentanyl, and then on top of that, within an hour frame, I'm getting epidural. So I got all this medicine in me. And so
Jesus, TT.
Yes. And I'm telling you, y'all, it's crazy. So, all right, time progresses, and I don't feel anything. Now I'm on epidural. Yeah. And so I'm good. This lady leaves the shift, right? Mind you, I still don't feel nothing. But I can remember. So the next shift starts. It's an older white lady. And I'm going to be real with you. In my life, God has always used old white women to be a door for me. Yeah. And this woman came in, had the Spirit of God. Like, the first thing she said was, she said, she was like, your countenance. She was like, we're going to deliver this baby. We're going to get this baby out of you. Oh, my goodness. And what was the confirmation was that the nurse aide who was learning with her was from Romania. And a family that we know is from Romania, and their child had the same name. I said, okay, God, this is you right here. So I asked her, I said, what number do you see on this monitor? She said 2. I said, so if it says 6, what does that mean? She said, well, normally if it says 6, that means we've increased your Pitocin levels. I said, well, I'm going to be real with you. The lady from the last shift increased me from a 2 to a 6 in an hour. That's the only reason I got epidural. She shut her mouth. And she knew then it was like some malpractice, but my thought was like, that's not my focus right now. Yeah. So
I just wanted to let you know so that I'm okay.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
And so
my baby.
So she literally, in this moment, I could tell she wanted to take care of me. Yes. She literally went and got every pill. She said, what do you need? She said, whatever you need, I'm going to bring it to you. And
I'm going to cry. Okay.
because.
Relax.
So I'm trying to make it quick. So basically what ended up happening is this same lady was on the same shift the whole time. And what happens is she says, I'm going to go. She said, but she was like, but before the morning, you're going to have this baby. So the next shift starts. And a black woman comes in, and she's from Trinidad or something like that. Wow. And she said, you're there. She was like, we're going to start pushing. She was like, we're going to have this baby naturally. And I don't know if that lady told her before, but they were for me.
Yes.
And we start pushing, and my doc comes in. We're pushing, like, we're trying, like, and it's going well. And then my baby poops. And so my daughter comes in and she says,
oh my goodness,
poop is a sign of distress. Yeah. She was like, if we don't go in and take the baby out, you know, it could turn bad. This means that she's distressed and she's in position, but she's not comfortable. And so at that moment, mind you, I've already gotten fentanyl. I already have epidural in me. So we go in for the C-section, and they have to administer more fentanyl. Now, in my mind, Michael Jackson died from an overdose of fentanyl.
Right.
So I'm like, okay, God, what are we going to do? So we get in the room, and I can remember, you know, they set you up because they got to cut you open. And Tay's there with me. Shout out to the single moms, because if you're a single mom and you do this on your own, I have so much respect for you, because I don't know where I would be if I didn't have somebody with me.
Jesus.
Somebody advocating for me.
Oh, yes.
And so,
Man.
y'all, you're not supposed to feel anything.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So when she stuck the knife in me, I felt it. And I'm not supposed to feel anything. And so I'm like jerking because I can feel it, but I partially cannot move. So parts of my body are moving, but because it's the nerves, my nerves down there are still in feeling.
Yeah.
And so at this point, Tay's like gripping my hand because he's like, what is going on here? And so I'm like, and I'm trying to tell him, because I'm partially out of it. And I'm trying to tell him, like, I'm hurting, like, I can feel this. And so all I can hear in and out is the doctor saying, okay, we're going to administer more fentanyl.
Oh, my God.
And here I'm like, you're putting this in me, it's going to affect my baby.
Yeah.
And so I can remember my lights going out, but I could still feel. And so in a moment, it's like I could still feel, and then in a moment I could feel them, and then I go somewhere. Now from there, I don't know what happened. So I get up. Of course, I'm not there when my baby comes out. Like, it's an hour and 45 minutes till I even come back to life.
Jesus.
So I get, I'm there, and I wake up, and my husband is holding Micah. And so he's crying. Like, he's legit crying, and my husband does not cry.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, babe, what's wrong? Like, what's happening? And he's just crying. And he was like, I don't want to do this anymore. He was like, I don't want any more children. And I'm like, why don't you, like, I'm confused because I don't know. Like, I'm confused. And I'm like, babe, like, what's going on? And he said, just take Micah. I don't want to do this anymore. He was like, this is it for me. And so the next day we get in the car, mind you, like, I don't know what has happened. And we get in the car, and I was like, babe, why did you say that? And he just starts crying, and I'm like,
Oh my God.
Because, I mean,
like, what is happening?
you don't understand.
And he said, I mean, buku tears. He's like, I thought it was just going to be me and Micah. He said, I was preparing myself to do this alone. And I said, why? He said, when they gave you that next dose of fentanyl, he said, you shook as if you were having a seizure. He said, I don't know if you could feel it. He said, but I could see it. He said, literally, I told him to stop. He said, like, I told him to stop. Like, he said, I thought something was wrong. He said, and then when you went out cold, I just thought you were dead. And he was like, I thought that this was it. Like, and I'm like, oh my God. I said, Pooh, well, that shouldn't make you be fearful, like, we can do this. And he was like, I don't want to see you like that ever again. And so then when we shift to this 6-week time period, and I'm like, babe, you saw me go through that. I'm not even fully, like, I'm not even there, my nigga. Like, I'm going down the steps thinking I'm about to fall down the steps. Am I going to drop the baby down the steps? Am I going crazy? Like, can I do this? Like, am I doing this right? And it's just like, for one, we don't talk about, like, the trauma associated with childbirth in this country. And we are mistreated, not just as black women, but we're mistreated as women completely. And then we're asked to be so super.
Yeah.
We're asked to be supernatural in a way that it's like, oh, you did it, so now we're here. But that's not the end of it. Like, you don't know what, and I feel like for women who get C-section, I was ashamed. Like, this is my first time telling anybody. Brittany knew. This is my first time telling anybody because mom culture is like, oh, you didn't do it naturally. Yeah. But really, I was in a space where I couldn't. And I was mad at God. And I said, God, I did everything I was supposed to do, and you still let this happen to me, and you let somebody mistreat me. Jesus. And I'm dealing with this 6 weeks postpartum. Yeah. I'm like, why did this happen to me out of all people? You let Brittany have her baby. Wow. Free. Yeah. She pushed him right on out. Yeah. And I'm like, why didn't I push my baby out? Like, why did this happen to me? And so here I am dealing with those questions, like, of whether here I am. Am I good enough? Like, can I do this? Am I equipped for this? Because it makes you feel like less of a woman. Yeah. Like, it makes you feel like you're not capable. And so I'm like, is there something wrong with me? Like, do I need assistance? And I really had to go through a space where I let God be my father. Because in that time period, which is what my book is about, not making this a promo, but in that
I love that.
Turn up.
I love that. I actually definitely need some.
But that's the thing. I think it's important. God, I can't get my voice together because.
No, that was a lot.
I'm sorry.
That we need a debriefing moment because that right there was a lot.
And it was a black woman. That's the thing. We're so taught that white medical people
are the ones trying to kill us.
Yes. But there was a rude end of her shift, ready to go woman who rushed me through a process that should have been precious. Wow. And so, do you see your job as a job or are you on an assignment? Wow. And I think that people don't realize this is precious to me. Like, you should treat me with some dignity because this is something that
bringing forth life.
It's crazy. Like, people are crazy.
A whole life. Oh. And that's the thing. Like, but I think it's important because what happens is we are in a comparison culture anyway.
Mm-hmm. Anyway,
that whatever's happening for somebody, I expect to happen for me. Because a lot of people, don't know my birth story either. Of like, literally, my water broke at 5:00 and I was throwing up all day. And I'm like,
oh my God,
is this normal? Like, why is this what's happening? And are we okay? I was supposed to have a water birth.
Yes.
I was supposed to have a water birth. And I'm like, I'm in this space where I'm like, bruh, this ain't you telling me these first time mom, because and I know TT's story and I didn't know it in detail because at first, like, I was checking when TT told me her contractions had started, because we went over there the day after her due date. Mm-hmm. And we spent the whole day over there just chilling with them, relaxing with them. And, I remember when she was texting me, like, my contractions started, whatever. And then I was texting Tay literally all day, like, hey, where we at? How we looking? Because, like, I know what it felt like for me. And, the vomit.
And you're that friend that shows up. But go ahead.
Also,
definitely.
I'm 100% putting on my ground on being the show best friend. But I remember that, like, literally, like, I couldn't eat, whatever. And it was like, the truth of the matter is, if I hadn't gone to the hospital, I would have had Kaden in the car or at this house.
Wow.
Because by the time I got to the hospital, my contractions never made sense. Nothing was in alignment. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? They're like, oh, your contractions going to be long, they're going to be quick. They're going to be long, they're going to be quick. And I'm like, all right, bet. And, oh, shoot. Where's the plug? Give me the plug. Give me the white cord. Cord. Woo, we about to die. Woo, we about to die. Okay. We are alive and well. Okay. So I'm in this place where they're like, your contractions don't make sense. My doula literally told me, she was like, if you go to the hospital, she only told me to go to the hospital. I'm saying, I feel like I have to poop. Like, I'm like, I'm pissing on myself.
Wow.
I'm in the bathroom. I had thrown up 5 times that day.
Oh my God.
In like a 7-hour time. And I'm like, they'd be like, if you're going to labor at home, relax. Like, get some rest. So once you go to the hospital, it's up. And I'm like, you telling me that most first time moms, their labor is 30 hours, 20 hours, whatever.
It's a hour.
So take me to the hospital. Give me the drugs. We're done with this water birth, this cute shit.
Yeah, because 30 hours of this?
Hello?
What?
I was on like hour 8, like, nah, we cool. We've done all we can. We just stand, put me in the drugs. And it was like when I got to the hospital, like I literally had a contraction on every floor.
Wow.
I had a contraction, put my clothes on. I had a contraction on this floor. I had a contraction before I got in the car. And then I had a contraction in the car. And, you know, I was literally at the place where when I got to the hospital, literally I bared down. You know that feeling when the baby is coming and it's like, oh, I can't even control this.
Nope.
Like, it's literally, something's happening and someone needs to fix it.
Yep.
I was only in the hospital for 20 minutes before the baby was here.
Wow.
And it's like, you told me that if I go, I'm more than likely going to be like 3 to 4 centimeters.
Jesus.
Got to the hospital, they checked me, and I was 10, dilated, ready to go. And my husband, Michael, was so mad because he was like, this is not right. This is not what we were supposed to do. This is not what it was supposed to be. And like, literally, I remember he called my doula and was like, they said she's 10 centimeters. She was like, what? She was in a grocery store, left her daughter in there and came to the hospital.
I'm cracking
because
up.
she was like, I'll give you your money back. And he said, I looked you in your eyes and I there was no way, because I already wasn't well because this is not what the plan was. Yeah. So I'm already pissed because I'm trying to figure out, is this safe for my wife? Because she's not okay. Yeah. And literally, like, I remember the whole experience, but it's like, then it's like, don't talk about the mental, like, once you have her, once you have him, and like, now you're sitting there like, is he okay? Is he breathing? What am I supposed to do? Am I okay? Am I about to die in the hospital? Like, cool. Now I done gave a baby. I done had birth and all that stuff like that. My birth was my actual delivery was 9 hours. My actual, like, birthing process from, like, you know, the hospital to delivery was 20 minutes. Wow. Like, literally, I got to the hospital at 2:20. Kaden was here about 3 o'clock. And now I am literally over here like, is he okay? Am I okay? Every time they make me go to the bathroom, what's going on? Yeah. Like, are you going to literally put me in a position where something happens to me after this? Yeah. Then I go home and everybody's excited and the baby's here. And it's like, you literally are sitting here mentally spent. You're not sleeping. You don't know how to care for no child. The baby up forever.
Forever. They don't sleep.
They don't sleep. And it's like, oh my Christ, this is where the fear comes in, the mental health. And it's like, this is why my heart towards pregnant women and pregnant families. Yeah. Now, I mean, I'd be quick to be like, come join our community, simply because, one, that's where my heart started to go to her and Corey. Like,
yeah, for sure.
We were the worst friends you've ever had. Unbeknownst to us.
Yeah, y'all didn't know.
Could you imagine? Yeah. You didn't even know about what she went through.
I had no idea.
You know what I'm saying?
And right now, I'm just like, why was I not there? Oh my gosh.
Meanwhile, we all got infants.
Right.
Meanwhile, we all got infants.
Yep.
Trying to navigate through motherhood. You trying to navigate through too. She trying to navigate through postpartum via C-section.
With a C-section,
I'm trying to navigate through postpartum, you know, natural delivery or whatever. But my mind is gone because, you know, now I'm trying to figure out what's about to happen to my money. Yeah. Because as an entrepreneur, somebody who was traveling, who was always doing what I was doing, now I have the mental capacity for nothing. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, what's about to happen? How can I bring a child to this world and now everything is different? Yeah. You know what I mean? And it's like we deal silently. I think fathers deal silently because they got to deal with us. You know what I mean? And they don't want to, like, we already dealing with a lot, so they don't even want to speak. No. I have nothing to say. I didn't push the baby out. They had to pull Malcolm aside in the hospital, like, please check on him because I don't think he's going to make it through the birth. Wow. Because they literally was like, he looks crazy. Somebody check on him because he's not going to make it. I can only imagine what Tay felt like. You know what I mean? In that moment. Like, he was texting me literally like, it's cool, Britt. We good. Yeah, the baby's here. He sent me a picture of Michael and I'm just like, yay, the baby's here. And like, no, y'all niggas went through what?
A 100 fully traumatic experience. That's so crazy because, y'all, I don't know why it is, but my heart for like men, just because they aren't the, first of all, this is just me just being real. Women are stronger than men in a lot of ways because we are allowed the space, I think, emotionally to build up that strength. Yeah. for men though, when they break down, that just really like even in movies,
in church,
baby, that does something to me.
Yeah, no, seriously.
For men to cry and break down, I'd be, oh, yeah, you're right. Please, just somebody hug him. My heart for Tay. Oh my God, to see his wife in that space, and that right there.
And then I'm scared because I'm that woman who actually had fluid on her feet. Like, so I'm in my mind thinking all this medicine after the baby. No, my pregnancy, the only thing I had to deal with was low iron. Okay. But like after, my feet are so swollen, and then I read too much.
Yeah.
Yes, we do.
So here I am
Dr.
thinking,
Google.
Lord Jesus.
It's over with.
I'm pretty positive this is definitely probably part 2 at this point of the episode. But, let's talk working and momming, because I was a full-time entrepreneur when I got pregnant. TT, you were full-time working, but you were in the midst of a transition or deciding to transition into entrepreneurship. And, London, you were...
Man. So this was a part of my...
Alonté.
Thank you. This was a part of my fear. I had this thought while we were talking, that a part of my fear as well was the fact that not yawning was the fact that I still hadn't figured myself out yet. Like I was still trying to. So when I found out that I was pregnant with Harmony, I was in real estate school. Like at the very end, I was finna pass my test, man. So I passed the actual class, but then I found out I was pregnant with Harmony, and I was like, oh my God, what am I gonna do? I didn't know what I was gonna do. So I was figuring myself out. That's where I was.
Yeah, so figuring yourself out. So let's talk momming and working, because for me, being a person that was an entrepreneur, like it slowed down my business in my eyes, and then coming back wasn't what I expected. Like I think as entrepreneurs, like women wish we could be dads, because if we were dads, we could just get back on the road. We could get back to doing events. We could do what we were doing. But when you're a mom, you don't have the same luxury, but you're expected to be a dad. If that makes sense, like society,
absolutely.
Like, oh, I can't wait till Britt get back. Like that's what I heard, or like I can't wait till I need that. Basically, you remember how Kanye used to be like, I miss the old Kanye. Like that's how I felt. Like and when he came out with his biopic, I mean not his biopic, that's a fake movie. But when he came out with his documentary, his docuseries or whatever, it was like I could understand that feeling of like that person is gone, and it really took me a long time to understand that the Brittany that everybody knew is gone
and make peace with it,
never to come back again. I can never be who I was, and it was very difficult for me to even accept that as myself, because like golly, like I had done all this stuff, I had become this person, and now I'm this mom. People are like, oh Britt, your vibe is different, like you real low key, you real chill, you love, y'all be saying it like Alonté always says, she's like, oh wow Britt, you just so wow. And I'm like, because Caden changed me, and that's the truth.
Did.
And it was like understanding. It took me a long time to be comfortable with knowing I will never be her again, and letting her go at the same time. Especially as entrepreneurial women. And then it was like I was seeing all these other women that were entrepreneurs, and I'm like, y'all don't got y'all kids. Like, why am I the only person at home? Like with the baby? Like, what? How do we do this where we're still out? I don't understand how this works.
Where are your children?
Hello, where are they? And it's not no shade, but it was like I don't understand how people are doing this or how they're getting back so fast, because I literally feel like, one, I'm confused. Two, the biggest thing that happened was me now having to answer questions that I never had before.
Oh wow!
Like if I was no longer doing what I'm doing, what would I do? And it was in those moments that I actually realized that I had lost myself in my business. I had lost myself in so many things that were entrepreneurship, that now that I think that was a part of the depression, was like understanding that I can never be her again. I don't know what I'm going to do now, because I don't even know her. This Brittany I have no idea who she is.
How does this Brittany fit into
my life?
Brittany's life.
Like, how do I fit into my own life? And that was so hard to literally even feel like I was incapable of doing what I had done. Because I wasn't the same person.
No, and I think what you're describing is like when you're married to your identity in a season,
For
and
sure.
then that season shifts.
Yeah.
And you have new responsibilities, and it's
Yeah.
like, okay, who am I?
Yeah.
Like with this child now, who am I? And I'm gonna be real with y'all.
Yeah.
I'm figuring out who I am.
To
Yeah.
this day.
Like it's
Written out to
it's
this day.
crazy. Like I literally,
Right now.
my job shifted.
Yeah.
And because London is a stay-at-home mom, Brittany is an entrepreneur,
Yeah.
and I work for the man. And so,
Good job though. Get paid real good.
Amen.
yeah,
Yeah.
and
Don't
I
play it
appreciate that, but I'm tired of the man. Okay, but truthfully, like it's almost as if like you're in an identity crisis.
Yeah. Oh, 100%.
Oh my gosh,
Hey,
y'all.
this is 30.
Let's not even add on niggas is 29.
Also.
And it's like 29 is the dumbest year I'm sorry to tell you this, but 29 is the stupidest year I've ever been a part of, because it's like you question everything that was a normality. And that's what I call, like, literally, I said I wanted to do an episode, we probably will, but it's called Identity Theft. Being lost in what you're called, being lost in what the name is, being lost in the accolades. And it's like, it feels so normal to just be in it, but when you step out of it, it'd be like, am I tripping? But like, who am I? What do I do? Like, what do I do? And I had to even get comfortable with the unknown. I had to get comfortable with the fact that I literally have no damn clue.
No idea.
What I do, who I am, how I am, what I'm doing. But I believe that God gives us these seasons where it's like where you look at a farmer who starts to plant, and all you're given is soil. And it's like in the season of darkness or the season of uncertainty, the season of not knowing, you're in a place where it's actually just soil. Now the podcast, me and Mark talk about it all the time. The podcast was birthed in the unknowing. The podcast was birthed through, what the hell are we doing? Who the hell are we? And if you strip it all away, which it feels like we've been stripped, in that moment, what can I create? Because at the end this is not to be deep, but we're going to be deep tonight. I got my sisters here with me.
Hey, this what we doing.
And this is like, y'all are real live in my living room, in my dining room. This is real live how conversations go when we're together. But it's understanding that if you go back to Bible, right? If you go back to Bible, it says, in the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth was without form and void, and darkness was upon the face of the earth.
Come on, girl, read it.
I'm telling you.
And the Spirit of God moved upon the face of the waters and said, let there be light. And there was. And then he created man in the likeness of himself. What that now means is, okay, he was in a space of darkness. He was in the space of unknown. He was in the space where there was no thing. There was nothing for me to go off of. There was no guru. There was no blueprint. There was nothing. I was presented with a blank canvas, and what I said now became, but can I become if I don't have a darkness?
Wow.
And I'm gonna tell you, this is so crazy that you say this because
I'm tripping, and I know I hate it here.
Oh well, yeah, I hate it here too. But this is here is holy.
Here is holy.
Brittany would say, and we're gonna choke that up to Michael Todd.
Amen.
But crazy,
Shout
Brittany
out.
says this because literally Saturday, I literally went and bought some pepper seeds, bell pepper seeds, because I'm starting a garden. And
That's so good.
girl, I'm trying.
It's beautiful, TT.
Let's pray about it because we don't know.
Right.
But crazily enough, I'm watching this guy who is teaching me how to start this garden. And specifically with the...
I'm so sorry. I really tried to hold that one. Oh,
Specifically with the bell pepper... Oh, go ahead, girl. I'm sorry. You got another one? Are you drinking that water?
It's gone, TT.
So, particularly for the bell pepper, I can't speak for any other plant, but I think this goes to identity because with the bell pepper, the way he says to cultivate it, you start with the seed. And he told me to get an egg carton. You put soil in it. You wet the soil, put the seed in. You cover it with a little bit of soil, close the egg carton. That seed has to sit in darkness for 5 days until it takes root. And then once the root is there, you can actually plant the rooted seed into a pot, and then from there it upsprings and grows. And what's crazy is I was literally walking in my house today, and I said, God, isn't it funny how every other plant that I've cultivated only took light, but this plant here is starting in darkness.
Wow.
And how often we as people become so discouraged because of the darkness, when really it's the darkness where we can be cultivated.
Oh my goodness.
And so, or where we take root for the actual growth to happen. And it's just so crazy that you said that.
But that's the thing, though. It's like me and Malcolm talk about all the time. Like when we look at the present state of our life, it's like you have two responses. You can say, this is very difficult, I don't like it, you know, all that stuff like that. Or you can look at it and say, I brought him a card today, right? Because we were having a very difficult day as a couple. We were having just a very difficult day. Our AC is out on the top floor. I'm upstairs with a fan trying to take a shower. And I'm hot.
Man.
He's like, you didn't hear me calling you. And I'm like, you don't hear that fan?
Right.
I didn't hear you
This
calling
loud
me.
behind fan.
Because y'all know I made a point later when he was upstairs and I was calling him from down here. And he was like, I said, you didn't hear me? He was like, nah. I was like, I'm just checking to make sure you couldn't hear me, correct? Mm-hmm. Because okay, cool. You know, whatever.
Yeah.
That's all that.
Yeah.
No, just checking.
Just checking.
But we were having a very, 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 very difficult day where we were really like back and forth at each other, like heavy. And I'm like, yo, why is you talking to me like that, bro? Like, who the hell are you talking? Like, and it's like you be mad, like, and now I'm going at you, like, who the hell are you talking to?
Yeah.
Like, nigga, don't talk to me like that.
The heat don't do that.
Will.
When it's hot.
And so, and we on the floor of school.
Right.
And we not even hot. We not even hot. And so, you know, but I went to Target. I took a TV timeout, and I went and got him a card because I said, and I wrote in the card said, it said, times are hard. And it said on the inside,
Isn't that like
so
a wife?
you.
I'm sorry, just finish. Go ahead.
You know, momming AF, wifing AF,
Man.
we are AF.
Yeah.
And I got a card, and I said, this season will breed the greatest things we've ever accomplished.
My God,
because
today.
it's in the darkness that we have come out with. When I tell you, we are spitting out ideas like it is ridiculous. But when we were in our heightened season, it's like you just good being high.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But it's when things start to get a little rocky, they don't make sense, or you don't understand the season that you're in, that you're able to start. It's like I literally said, I told God, I was like, I feel like I've lost my sense of creativity.
Wow.
And it's like in that moment, here comes a podcast, here comes this, here comes that, here comes that, here comes this. And I'm like, okay, cool. But it's like, I don't really like any of this other stuff. I'm uncomfortable. I got a kid now. Like, what are we doing? Like, what is the vibe? And I was at an event this weekend, and I was having Eric Thomas, he talked about this. He said, and I was supposed to save this for another episode, but I'm going to bring it up now. Wow. Because here we are, and here is holy.
And here is holy.
that simple statement is so profound.
Man, it has gotten, I mean, literally, we can just say just that.
Literally. And it will posture your mind to be like.
And it just.
There it is.
Okay.
Here is holy.
Here we go.
Here we go.
Here we go. That was one of his messages. Here we go. Just here we go. And
I love it here.
I love it here.
I love it.
And so Eric Thomas said this. He said, here's the hard truth. There are only three things that can prevent you from getting the things that you desire. Your own fears, your own vices, and your own ignorance. He said your fears, the vices are the things that we're putting in taking, sex, drugs, alcohol, all this other stuff. I can't remember everything. But in your ignorance, like the places that you position yourself to be, the people that you position yourself to be around. Yeah. But when he said fears, y'all, because we already talked about fear. And it's really understanding that in this space where I feel like I've been in control. Y'all know me. I hate the lack of control. Yeah. Not having control worries my soul. I cannot. You said it when Mal called you about the house. The inflation is retarded. Like, everything is going crazy. I'm like, bro, that was my house. Right. I lost my house. Like, don't have the house. I told TT, I was like, just pray for us. Like, while we make this decision. Literally, the inflation, like, outpriced us. And it's like, in the moment, I can choose to feel like I lost my house, or I can feel like my house is not, that's not good enough.
That ain't good
enough.
It's not enough.
Yeah.
Right? But he said this. He said, these are the top 10 fears that are holding you back. Your fear of change, your fear of loneliness, your fear of failure, your fear of rejection, your fear of uncertainty, your fear of personal loss, your fear of getting hurt, your fear of being judged, your fear of inadequacy, and your fear of loss of freedom. And I feel like when we're talking about being mothers, and especially if you're a mom and you're a wife, it's like all of those things are encompassed in one thing at the moment you take that test.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Even if you don't speak about it, because I was elated when I got pregnant,
Yeah.
but all of these things start to come up like, oh, everything's about to change.
Everything.
What's about to happen in my marriage? You know what I mean? Like, I definitely don't want to end this without having a conversation about how your child or children has changed your marriage, because now we're not talking about just being a good wife.
Oh my goodness.
You're talking about being a good mother and still meeting the needs of your husband.
Oh my goodness.
Let's talk about it.
You know, let me just say this. For all the men listening, I'm going to be real. Brittany said this statement. Sometimes she wish she could be a dad.
Ooh, Linda said it earlier when she got here.
And it's no offense to the dads.
Tapping out.
Because dads are great.
Yeah.
We need dads. Dads are necessary.
100%.
We love dads. We appreciate dads.
Yes.
Happy Father's Day, by the way.
Happy Father's Day. Okay. But let me just say this. Marriage, we were talking to Malcolm, and he said something that I totally agree with. Marriage is a decision every day.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because it's not about love. Once you become married, it's not just love.
No.
It's now a decision.
Yeah.
Because you are serving and loving and engaged, embracing, growing with this person through trials, seasons, tribulations, changes. And you have to be able to embrace who they are in every season and vice versa. So I'm going to say that. But the first thing I want to say is that I think the outlook for me, I'll say for me, so much changed once I had this baby. I'm not gonna lie, I've always been hard on myself, and I think that is part of trauma. I've always been hard on myself just simply because, and it's crazy, it's something that me and Brittany share to an extent, because Brittany has siblings, I'm the only child. But because of being an only child, you were expected to be great. And you were expected to do what your parents didn't do.
Yeah.
And so there's always that heavy burden of, I got to do it. I got to be the one.
I have to.
And so you do. And I think as a woman, you know, the burden in your life, when you have a child, it doesn't get any lighter, because now it's like, okay, I wanted to be a good wife. Now I got to be a good mother and a good wife. I still got to fuck you.
Yep.
I'm sorry to my Christians. I just had to be real that time.
Right.
I love when that TT goes.
I have to give you goodness, my goodies. Yep. And I gotta make sure my goodies are good, because that is my assignment to my husband. Like I have to do that. Like I gotta
available,
because I can't even withhold myself from you. When you ask for it, I gotta want to give it to you.
Want to?
Dang, I'm still working on that, baby. Because I
was just gonna say, hey, shameless plug. If you are wondering how do I get back, baby, go buy you a rose, okay?
Brittany has been advocating for this rose. Matter of fact, Rose, I don't know if Brittany want to promote y'all, but here's an influencer, okay? Because literally,
you don't got one.
I haven't gotten it yet.
Okay,
but listen,
so months to clean up your act.
There is another space of trauma I experienced after my birth.
Got it. Okay.
So, but I don't want to get off topic. So, what I'm going to say is that we are called as women to be so multifaceted in every aspect that we don't even get the space to not be our best.
Oh, my goodness.
And that means, even for Brittany, in the entrepreneurial world, she got to be her best. Yep. Because being a woman is going to call for her to be better than all the men.
Oh, my goodness.
Then,
Holy Ghost.
As a wife,
say it.
You got to be cooking. You gotta be clean.
And luckily for y'all got husbands that at least will try.
right.
Try. Child, because my husband would try to make a souffle out of applesauce and spinach. Okay? I don't know what's going on, sir. What is that? It's like, you know, I want to be like
pork roll.
Ratatouille. Boy, get out of here.
Mess out that can. The world.
But You tried, baby. You tried.
You tried.
But then you have to, again, you got to be giving your man sex. I mean, you got to look good.
Sex.
Yeah.
Yes, good sex. You got to look good. They want you to snap back.
Yep.
Then the world wants you to be Miss. I seen a post today. This girl was shouting out this other girl. She said, I respect you so much for being a mom and having career progression and still working out and making it look easy. And I said, you know what, God, that's not my flex. And I'm okay with that.
And I'm okay
because
with
in this season of my life, I need rest.
Man.
And you know what, my mans? If I'm giving it to you good, and sometimes I look like bummity bum bum bum. But seriously, bummity bum bum. I mean, because I'll be real with y'all. This is one thing I struggle with. I was a very selfish woman prior to pregnancy, and I realized that in pregnancy. Like, for instance, I was very vain, and God had to heal me. For instance, like, my teeth spread it out while pregnancy. Now, y'all know it's some people who lose teeth, right?
Not lose teeth. TT.
Yes, it's women who be losing their teeth, huh?
That is so crazy. Okay, no.
You lost it too?
No, time out. I was not going to say nothing. Because, you don't want to be picking. But I don't remember like you having a gap. I don't remember you having a gap.
Exactly, girl.
Yeah.
This baby spread my teeth out. And at first I was like, am I dreaming? Like, my teeth? Because my mama paid for braces when I was in.
And I remember you saying you had braces.
And when it was happening, I said, okay, I can deal with this.
Wow.
And then over time, as we got closer,
weird.
I said, girl, who are you?
Wow.
And literally right now, I'm in the process of getting Smile Direct.
Wow.
And for me, I've adapted actually this mentality of I don't really care how you feel about me.
Yeah.
But I looked at my husband and I said, and this is crazy how a woman thinks, and my husband might not even care. I ain't even asked him.
Yeah.
But I looked at my husband and said, you know what, I want to look like my best self because I'm getting not back to my old space, but I don't want to lose anything because I don't want to be a woman who says, okay, you know what, this baby is my excuse to not be sexy.
No, it ain't.
And so, you know what I'm saying? Because my mama tell me, quick, girl, don't you go get them big clothes.
That's
you
so
need to
funny.
Get back to yourself. And
Yeah.
I'm like, for one, if I want to look like Fat Betty.
Anime, yeah. I'm going to do just that.
But TT be cute, though.
Thank you. But what I'm saying is women think about every avenue of making sure everything is okay. And I don't think we get enough credit for it.
Don't.
And it's just like, man, I'm literally out here like...
Yeah.
Y'all didn't make me show because I'm doing what I'm supposed to do, and nobody really sees that. And I really got to get Smile Direct. I'm paying for teeth.
That is so funny. Dang, TT, that is so wild because I'm literally dealing with these same exact. I didn't even realize how vain I was prior to having kids and stuff like that. So for me, it was my skin. My literal body skin started acting crazy. This is the same person who, prior to having kids and also prior to meeting my husband, was a Hooters girl. You know what I mean?
Come on, Hooters. But you did work at Sephora and they made y'all dress like nuns.
And also worked at Sephora. Because I loved makeup. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Literally dealing with that same exact thing. I'm like, Lord, why is this happening to me? I was vain, but I also was insecure at the same time.
That's what vanity is. Is that not what vanity is? It's like you see yourself so highly.
Yeah.
Because the innermost parts of you have issues.
Wow.
You think about it. Like, think about it. The reason why I see myself so highly is because there's something I actually hate about me.
Yeah.
Wow.
I agree.
Lie?
I agree.
Lie?
Because after my baby, I have a double chin.
Wow.
And
Same.
I kid you.
Baby, when I saw this picture, I told y'all, did I not show y'all? I showed y'all this picture. I didn't show y'all, bro. I was trying to find it. But when I did this event this weekend, bro, somebody took pictures of me on the only day I didn't wear black. And I said, I don't want to look like I've been at a funeral all weekend. So
Right.
Put on a little color. I'm going to throw on a little tan, throw on a little jean. Baby, she took a picture of me from behind and the rolls on my back.
Oh, my God.
I'm talking about full-blown hot dog.
Yes.
Special.
Oh, girl.
I'm cracking up.
But that's the thing. It's like we have the pressure to snap back. We
do.
And the crazy thing is, and I ain't going to hold you. I did tell my husband, I said, honey, I had the baby. I'm the only one with an excuse, baby. But what you got going on, sweetheart? I always told you I would never be. You need to go get it together, honey. And now, now I'm out here getting fined. So he like,
so what's your excuse
so what
now?
You gonna do?
Yeah.
What you gonna do now? But it's like, damn, now I got the pressure. I just had to push the baby out. I had to grow the baby for months. I had to let my skin stretch, get dry, get stretch marks.
Oh my gosh.
I didn't even have cellulite legs. The whole reason why I got pregnant is because I was in the gym getting fine.
Yep.
How does this even go?
I remember you looked down. You was looking damn good. That
and
was
ain't
like
that a shame though?
Yeah.
When you looking good and they out here, let me ruin it.
Let me ruin it.
But
I'm
I
about
love
to
it.
jump in that thing. Amen. You out here talking about marital bliss. Okay, get out of here, my nigga. But that's the thing. I think it's important because the thing is we feel the pressure of having sex. And I was like, man, when I hit my 6 weeks, I talked to my doctor about it. She was like, Brittany, if you're not ready, don't do it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And I will say this is why it's important to live your own journey and go through your own process, because there are women that'll tell you stories just like the same thing you said with pregnancy. So now you expect your delivery to go like mine. One of my homegirls was telling me about her experience with sex after her first child, and was just literally like, it was so painful. Like, it was just not the same. And so I was so afraid. Like, this is going to be horrible. I don't want to do this. Yeah. And I love sex.
Right.
Love.
I'm cracking up.
Love. You know what I'm saying? Like, and now I'm afraid to do it. Now you out here trying to feel like you in this desert dry land. Now he got this 48-hour rule. Like, it's been 48 hours. I said, tell me that one more time and I promise you it'll be a month. Because the truth of the matter is I'll be just fine. Rose and all. I mean, but anyway.
That's wild.
But that's the thing. It's like, I mean, when it comes to, I will say the baby does change sex because, one, especially if you do, I mean, I don't know what it was like for a C-section, but giving it naturally is like, I don't even want anything in here. Let's start with that. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like, one, I had stitches.
Oh my God.
They were small, not a lot. But like just the thought and the knowing of it is like, this ain't right. This ain't the same. Leave me be. Then I think of like my mother-in-law. My mother-in-law had my husband and his brother 13 months apart. She was right back in the saddle. I'm like,
no, thank you.
Pass me by.
Girl, please. I'll tell you.
Please. Because
shout out to the moms who doing it, though.
I mean, y'all are the MVPs, and I don't think we get our flowers enough because, like you said, Titi, we're having to navigate through marriage. We're having to navigate through new motherhood. We're having to navigate through becoming who we have to become now as new women. And then let's not even talk about entrepreneurship. You know what I mean? And so,
my goodness.
Y'all, I mean, we're obviously on we're on part two of this episode, the season finale. So this is the part of the show where we talk about our life lessons. So, we're probably easily going to have to talk about this again in season 2 and like run it back. But, what would you say, like being a new mom, what is the most key thing that you've learned thus far? And what would you share with a new mom or mom that's already momming? When we talk about momming AF, like what is your life lesson? What is your life lesson?
So the first thing I'll say is, because I am coming from the perspective of working for the man, the first piece of advice I'll say is take your vacation. Take your sick days, even if you ain't sick. If you don't feel like going, don't go. If somebody who I work with watching this, I don't really care. But the second part, and I think the most important part, the thing that I had to embrace is, truthfully, don't become married to your trauma, and keep your mind an open space, because I think that one thing that childbirth does is it unlocks a part of our brain that is maternal, and you begin to become anew. Now, I can speak for these ladies because I've seen them get up and go. And I can't speak for anybody else who's having any chemical imbalances or those type of depression or issues. But I will say that don't allow anyone else's story to be your story. Don't embrace problems. Don't embrace or even adapt or adopt like depression or issues. Don't let what somebody else tells you about their experience become a fear for you. But take it one day at a time. And if nothing else, pray. My God. And of course, I'm not here to, of course, be religious. I don't know what anybody's beliefs are. But whatever you believe, take time to meditate and create a space for yourself to really open up your mind and to receive like the wisdom and the power and the grace that you need for your lifestyle, because rushing ain't gonna do it.
Oh my goodness.
Trying to make some shake ain't gonna do it. And truthfully, like, we live in a culture now that tells you gotta be doing something, and sometimes it takes silence. Sometimes it takes sitting down and allowing life to come to you. Like, we chasing, like, and so many people are chasing a lifestyle. There's so many people chasing a look. So many people are chasing money, chasing a place, or chasing a space. And it's like, you have people in spaces that don't even know who they are. And so I'll say, when you allow things to come to you and you really are in a space of peace, it's beautiful, because you know that you have been prepared for that place. But it's a dangerous space to be in when you chase something and now you don't have the mental capacity to withstand where you are. Just make peace with where you are and what has happened for you, and embrace where you are, man, because when you embrace a season, it's like you're saying, I appreciate where I am. And it's the gratitude, and that's one thing I love about Brittany, you know, just to give her kudos as we wrap up, like, and you know, sometimes Brittany don't know how people see her, you know what I'm saying? And so it's just like, to see her be a person, even through her struggles, and you know, sometimes it's hard being that strong person. But to see her be someone who's always affirming, or someone who always shifts her mind into a space of gratitude, it's that gratitude and that mindset of openness that really gravitates goodness to you. And I heard this thing, and it's the last thing I'm gonna say, on TikTok. It says, show me how good it can get. Now, because I believe in the Savior, I'm gonna say, in your time, or whoever or whatever you believe, I'm going to say, amen. Lord, show me how good it can get. But see, when you say that, you're allowing God to bring to you what he has for you, and you're not going after something. That's the only thing that I'll say.
So good. Yes. I think mine definitely piggybacks off of what TT just said. It's, you know, it's so cliche, but it's just give yourself grace, man. Just give yourself grace. I think that I tried to live up to so many different things, so many different ideas of what I should be doing, how I should be doing it. Even as a stay-at-home mom, it's like you feel so bad. No, I don't have a job. And then, you know, somebody comes to my house and it's a mess. And it's like, bro, yes, it's a mess, you know?
Like, we feel it. Like, nigga, this is what life looks like. I don't know what you thought, but this is my life.
This is my life. And I've been keeping these daggum kids alive all day.
I ain't killed them, and they ain't killed me.
We are all here. Dishes? Child, please, they gonna stay right there where they at. Oh my goodness, give yourself grace, man. Like, just give yourself grace. Sometimes you just gotta be like, and did.
Exactly.
And is.
Man, I'm gonna say my life lesson is make sure you get the right people around you, because it's very important. We all go through life be life, and it's life, and like it ain't never life before, for real. And I think it's really important to make sure that you have a very strong circle of people that in your good days, in your bad days, in your weird days can be there for you, to pick you up, to have that conversation, to see you down, and maybe I just need the hug, or maybe I just need the conversation. I cannot stress to you how important it is to make sure you have some good sisters around you, some good couples around you. If you're married, if you're a gentleman that's listening to this, hopefully you got some value for how to navigate with your wife and what we're thinking. And of course, y'all know we're gonna do a guys episode. We're gonna let them do them. But it is so important to be in good community, to breathe life into your visions, to breathe life into your dreams, to speak over you when times are rough, because we've all had so many conversations when it's just not, it's not it. Like, life is not what I expect. Like, this is just not it. And I'm grateful for the both of them, as well as, you know, the rest of the individuals within our camp, to say that we have been in a place where at the end of the day, for years, you're talking about a solid 7 at this point. 7 years we have ensured the number of completion. So I know something is about to come forth in this season.
Yeah.
All right.
Did you feel that?
We just getting started. But season 1 has concluded, and we will see you guys in season 2. Let them know how they can find you guys on social media.
You can find me on Instagram at alonté.zakia. I'm pretty sure everything, TikTok, all that is alonté.zakia.
Yeah, so you can find me on Instagram and TikTok under Miss, that's MRS.DANIGAD. Miss Danny Gad. You guys have been great.
And you can follow me at Brittany Donnell at on everything, and you can follow the show at So Let's Talk About It Pod on Instagram, TikTok, all that. And then if you guys are ready to start sending in some questions, we got more. We're really going to start getting into that in season 2. We can't wait to get to it. And y'all know Malcolm said, make sure y'all shout out to the producer. Let's shout out our producer, Malcolm Garrison.
Cracking up.
But yes, we'll see you guys in season 2. We can't wait to unwrap more, and it's going to be crazy because it's change season. So we love y'all, and we'll see y'all. Thank you to my co-hosts, to my sisters. I hope y'all go follow them. I hope y'all got mad value. We love y'all. Don't forget to rate, review, subscribe, like, share, tell a friend, and we'll see y'all on season 2. God bless. Let's talk about it.